Welcome. My name is Keith Hensley with CoreLogic. I'm coming to you from Dayton, Ohio, and this webinar is going to be on tips, tricks, and updates. Most of the tips or tricks will be related to searching, but we will also show you some other tips outside of searching there. But we'll start off mainly with searching tips and tricks, and show you some things you can do there. Okay. And this next screen here is hopefully everyone's hearing okay. I think I've heard from most people on here that everyone's hearing me okay and seeing my screen okay. But if for those that are having trouble hearing on this webinar, there is a go to webinar toolbar. There is a question section down here too. So most of you have already found this because you've already been sending me messages or questions through the question section there. But if you are having trouble hearing me, try opening up this audio section. You can even do a sound check, your call in, and worst case scenario, you're still not hearing me, probably just log off of the webinar and log right back in out there. So, but there's only a handful of us on here today, so I think everyone is hearing me okay, so I don't think that's too much of a problem there. Okay, I'm going to close this down. And now everyone should be seeing my, just make sure everyone should be seeing my Williamsburg Multiple Listing Service matrix system here. So everyone should be seeing a matrix system here that's in here. The first thing I always like to tell people, and sounds like we definitely have a few new people here, but pretty much in any of my webinars, I really like to break down the tabs up here because sometimes people just get overwhelmed with all these tabs up there. It's like there's so much you can do and there's so much stuff out there. Well, most of these tabs you don't really use all the time, or you won't be using that much because it's not the main system like finance or links. Yeah, there's some good stuff you can do there, but it's not the bread and butter of the system. Okay, even market reports or even stats, those are kind of advanced stuff. You can play with them, of course, but especially if you're new out there, you probably don't get into it right away. We do have a help tab. Under the help tab, we do have training guides here, like an 8.1 training guide. It's about 58 pages here, and you can open it up, and we have categories on everything in here. So you could just save this to your computer and print off the 2 or 3 pages that you need at one time. But also under the help tab, we also have videos here. We have lots of videos here for you guys to watch. I always encourage people to watch the videos, okay, especially if you're a newer member. But even as a trainer, I've been doing this over 20 years now, and we have another trainer that does a lot of these recordings. He's got a really good voice for the recordings, comes across really good, and he does a lot of these recordings, and even I will watch these recordings from time to time, especially if it's one I haven't seen, because I pick up tips and tricks on how to do things. And he presents it in a different way or uses it a little different than how I show to use it. So that's something I definitely want to make sure people know about. But that's the help tab. But of all these tabs up here, there's really just 3 that you're going to use all the time. The first one is the home tab. Okay, that's the one you land at when you log in. The second one is search, and the third one is my matrix. Those are the 3 main tabs, sections of matrix you're going to be using all the time. So if you're new, I would just focus on learning those 3 tabs: home, search, my matrix. There is possibly a 4th, and that would be the input tab. That's where you'd go to add a new listing or make a price change, a status change, or add photos or attachments to your listings. So that would be the 4th, but the main core parts of the system is either home, search, or my matrix. Okay. Search is where you do things. Search is where you do a search, you'll email listings, you'll print listings, you'll even do a CMA by first going to search. You'll just do lots of things. You'll save a search, you'll save an auto email. Well, it's all started under the search tab. My Matrix is where you go to find what you just did. It's where you find your contacts, your auto emails, your saved searches, all the emails that you sent out, CMAs that you've done, your information, your speed bar shortcuts, your settings, your carts. So My Matrix is where you find things. Search is where you go to do things. Hopefully that will sink in, and you'll hopefully that will just help you realize what you need to, where you need to go, where you need to be at within Matrix there. So it's 80, 90, maybe even 100% of the time, you're going to be using one of those 3 tabs. Okay, where these other ones are there and they're nice, you can play with them, but it's not the main system. Let's see here. So tips, tricks, and updates. So probably some searching tips right off the bat for you is that you've got a search here, and sorry for my dog barking. The FedEx guy right on cue gets here right in the middle of my my recorded webinar here, so sorry about that. So searching here, let's go to search. Let's just go to residential and choose a property type here. And if you don't know, this is all property types right here, okay? You can search all property types rolled into one. But I think most of the times when you do a search, I think you're going to specific property types out there, but you can search for them all at one time. So if I do a residential quick here, the first tip and stuff I like to talk about is searching by street names. Okay, I want to show you there's many ways you can search by street names out here. And as I do this, I want you to be thinking about this. Are there any street names that you always had trouble searching for in here? If you do, if you have some examples, type them in the question box, let me know. And I want to make sure you can search for any and all street names without any problems. And let me throw something out there for you. You guys have state routes, county roads, township roads, things like that, rural route 173 or things like that. If you do, let me know, and I'll show you the best way to search for those. Okay. So in the meantime, if you're thinking about it and stuff, typing it in, but let me show you, let me get started on street names. You might think it's really simple to do, but sometimes it can be frustrating for those that have been trying to find things. So for example, if I type in the name River, look down here, my matches found. I got 19 matches here, okay? Now when I type in River, if I go look at those listings, you'll notice I got not just River, but I also got River View and River Reach and River Oaks and River's Edge, okay? So just by me typing in a name here, it assumes or more, you know, it assumes it starts with River, okay? Typically, when you do a street name like this, some of our MLS accounts, you also have to do an asterisk here. And that asterisk is a wild card, which means I know it starts with the River. I just don't know if there's anything more after that. So think of it as a question mark, if you will. But you notice when I threw that asterisk in, I still got 19 matches. So to me, it didn't really do a difference here. I still got the same listings with or without the asterisk. Well, that's because in a lot of MLSs, such as yours, we actually threw in the asterisk behind the scenes. You don't see it because we'd rather give you more results than not enough, okay? Because in some MLSs, if you just type in River, the only listings you'd get would be these right here, or I'm sorry, the one that just have River in front of it, okay? Now, I'm not sure what that RDG is. I don't know if that's a street name. I know it's probably Ridge, but I don't know if it's a street name or street type, okay? You know, road is a street type, okay? And Plantation, okay, that's Riverview Plantation Drive. That's the type there. So I'm thinking RDG is a type. So if I go back, look at this, see under suffix? See, that's where you got Avenue, Beach, Bluff. If I go down to the R's here, Wow, you guys have a lot of types. Ridge right there. So if I do river something ridge, now look at the results. River ridge. So see, this part is not part of the street name. River is the street name. Ridge is the street type. Okay. So just remember when you're searching, you're not doing that there. I don't know, Carmen, that's a good question. Why don't they spell out ridge? That's a very good question. I don't know either. I was thinking the same thing. Just like with road or drive, they don't spell it out. The only thing I can think of is when they, on the reports, when it prints it out, if they spell it out too much, it might, like this one here, the Riverview Plantation Drive, now I know drive's not that long, it can get awful long. See right here on the agent reports, sometimes that name is way long, it may not fit in some stuff. Because when it feeds out to Zillow, it goes out as RDG. Yeah, that's your MLS, and I'm not sure what the reasoning is. And I'm sure they do have a reason for it being displayed. And all I can think of is maybe it's just because it's shorter to where it fits when you got a long, lengthy street name there. So other than that, I don't know why. Yeah. As you can see on the pick list here, it's actually spelled out. It's just when you're viewing it, it's abbreviated. So I don't know. I don't know why. But you notice no matter if I use the asterisk or not, I still get the same 19 results. So you're saying, okay, well, why are you even showing me this here? Well, what if I put the asterisk before river? Now look what I got. I only have 8 matches. So this means asterisk river means I know it ends in river. I know the street name ends in river. I don't know what it starts with. See, that's why I put the asterisk there. I don't know what it starts with, but I know it ends in river. So when I look at my results here, everything ends in river. Winding river, Ware river. River ends in river too, okay? Now remember, road or ridge is not part of the street name. This was North or South River Road or Ridge. The north and south is not part of the street name. The north and south is right here, okay? So that's what you got there. Carmen, you said, so my workaround would be to put the whole street name in the first box. The whole street name, yes. The street name, Carmen, okay? Ridge or avenue, that's not the name. Right. So don't do ridge here, okay? Don't do that. Don't do it by or avenue. Let me do avenue here since I used avenue over there. When you are searching listings, don't do this because avenue is not the name of the street. The avenue is the street type or the street suffix there. And even if you're up here and adding a new listing, do the same thing. Don't spell it out here, okay? A lot of realtors, and I will mention this. I'm not pointing you out, Carmen, but I know you said you're new. But when I add a new listing, and I'll go there real quick, and I'll just pick something here. I'll just start with a new listing here. Oh, you're not new. I'm sorry. It must have been someone else. Okay, but when you're filling this stuff out and you're adding a listing and it asks you for the street name, do not type in river. Do your river here, but put in ridge here. Okay, now I'm not saying you do this, but don't do, I'm pointing this out to those that are new. That is the ridge part. Because if you do it here, river ridge, people will have trouble finding you. Right. Okay, I figured you make sense, right? But I just want to point that out because there are new people here, and I just want to make sure they understand that there. That's not the part. Just like if it's North River, don't put North in here. That's a very common rookie mistake. You're going to do the North here, not the North in here. Okay, and I'm used to it. I think it makes sense, but I just want to make sure. And Mavis, what about a long one like Mill Pond Run? Well, is Run a street? See, a lot of people will swear that Mill Pond Run is the street name, And some people say, no, the street name is Mill Pond. Run is the type. And I'm going to see if Run is in here. If Run is in here, right there it is, then I think the street name is Mill Pond. Okay, Mill Pond. That's how I think it should be. But I mean, I would ask around. I would even ask the MLS just to make sure, or even look at the tax records. Up here, you got IMAP or Realist Tax, and see what they say is the street name. Well, they should say the street type over here. But that's my guess, Mavis. That's what I would imagine. Whatever it ends with, like in your case, Run. See if it's a suffix over here. If it is, then that's the street type. So good question. Good point there. Let's go back to our search though. Okay. So in that case, so in Mavis's case, I would just do Mill or even Mill Pond. Okay. And well, I got no active listings on Mill Pond, but that's the point. So hopefully this made sense, you guys. When I did Asterisk River, that means I don't know what it starts with, but it ends in river. What if I did the asterisk on both sides? Now look, I got 22 matches. Now I'm getting it whether it starts with river or ends with river, or river is somewhere in the middle. So here I'm going to get it one way or the other. And when I go to results, I got river view. See, it starts with river, but I also got winding river. See, now notice how it ended in river. And if there was a situation where it's in the middle, I would even get that too. So if you're really struggling trying to find a street name, by putting asterisks on both sides will be your best bet. But keep in mind, the longer, if I do rivers, the more I type in between the question mark, the less results I get. The more I take out, see, now I got 23. If I take this out, now I got, well, I still got 23. If I do RI, now I got 86. If I do R, 81. So you know what this is saying? This is saying contains an R in it. Well, how many listings do you think have a street name with an R in it? Well, 481 active ones. So as long as it has an R anywhere in the name, you're going to find it there. So less is more results. Okay. Now, does anyone think of, do you guys have any county roads or state routes? Do you have an example for me? In fact, let me do a search here. 76th Street, Route 60, okay. Here we go. Now, here's the question, Carmen. Is it Route 60 or is it State Route 60? Or is it County Route 60? Is it Township Route 60? Is it all the above? Kind of curious if you know that or not there. And let me go down to the S's here. Let me see if I can scroll down. Let me go to, I don't know, most likely it's Richmond Road. Okay, okay. But there's a reason I'm asking here. I'm going to go down to the R's. And it could even be under the S's. So let me look and see if there are any routes here. Don't see it there. Let's go to 7 here. Let's see if there's a state route. Okay, and I don't see it there. How about like C's for county? Okay, it doesn't look like you guys have a lot there. Not what I'm used to there. Okay, so this may not really be an example here. So let me just try it here. Now I'm going to take out status active. I don't want no statuses. I want a ton of matches. You know, I got over 5,000 matches here. So if I did an asterisk 60, I got 3 matches here. So if I go to my results here, there was an old Route 60, old Route 60, old Route 60, where here they all spelled it the same way, RTE 60 there. So that one I found it because some people will spell it ROUTE 60 and some people will just call it RT60, and some people just call it Route 60, or some people could call it Old Route 60. So I just wanted to show you that if you just do an asterisk 60, that'd be perfect. You know, you'll find it there. But how about this one? Is that the only way to spell First Street or First Avenue? No. See the more button here? I could hit more because some people might spell it out this way, first. And see, now I got it one way or the other. See, first or first. So if I go to my results here, I got first, but I also got first. So that might be something. Now, I also agree that it depends on where it's at. Like if it's in King William, it's probably spelled out first that way. But if it's in Hampton, it's probably spelled out first this way. Okay, but there's King William right here. See, 235 First Street, and this is King William, 327 First Street. So you notice people spelled it two different ways there, first and first. So that is an option there. I'm kind of curious, did anyone know you could do more? And then did you know you could do different spellings like this, first or first? And then I could still do my part there. So hopefully that will help you. Okay, good. Okay. But I'm teaching you something for now. And what about this? What about Maple Ridge? And let's say some realtors will spell it Maple Ridge, where other realtors will call it Maple Ridge. Do you ever see a situation like this where you got a street and some people spell it one word, some people spell it two words, so you can do more. And yes, I could have done the just Maple and taken this one out and just done Maple, but I'd also get not just Maple Ridge, I'd also get Maple View and maple syrup and maple leaf and all that good stuff. So this way you can do Maple Ridge or one word Maple Ridge. Okay, just give you some options there that you can do. Okay. And you can do multiple mores. Okay, you can do 10 different streets if you want, but you could do it that way too. The asterisk, Sue inputted our street, so when you input the street, these mistakes won't happen. You said Sue inputted our streets? I'm not sure. Oh, Sue. Oh, I got you. So it's a pick list, I think, when you do that. Okay, so that might be why they're that way. Okay, cool. Okay, that's probably why there's not a lot of questions on it, because they're typically all spelled the same. So, okay, that's good. But let me show you, does anyone ever use keywords or want to search by keywords? You know, the remarks section, like has anyone ever wanted to search by fixer-upper or needs a little TLC and stuff? Yes, Carmen? Okay. So for those that like to search by keywords, so sometimes you can't go in here and find a field. So if you go down here to the additional box, you can add more stuff. So you could add a field called remarks, public remarks, and add it. And once it's over here, when you go back, if I come down here, I can search these keywords here, remarks. So some realtors will say it's a fixer-upper, needs a little TLC, like deep water. Okay, so Carmen, are you looking for property that has, yeah, give me an example of deep water. They just want something that has access to a lake that has deep water, or that's what I'm thinking of right there. So when they would go in here, if they wanted to search deep water, they would just do the asterisk deep water asterisk. Our rivers are shallow or deep. Got you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So when I said deep water, and I got it in the brackets there, notice I found 385 listings there. Now, I didn't have any status, so let me see active. There's 6 listings that have the word, so that helps us know what kind of boat we could have on at the dock. Thank you. Okay. I was kind of thinking, so I just never heard that before, and just never heard that term to search. I mean, I've heard deep water. I just never heard that to search by, but that makes sense. Okay. So look, I found 6 listings with the word deep, the words deep water in it. See, because I get the asterisk on both sides. So when I go to results, all these listings should have the words deep water in it. So when I click on one of them and I look at the remarks field right down here, see deep water activities. Okay, perfect. And if I go to the next listing, same thing. I'm just looking. And don't have my glasses on right now. But yeah, it's got deep water in there somewhere. Trust me, it does. You probably already see it there. Okay. That's super helpful because waterfront doesn't always work. Okay, huge help. Okay, good. I'm glad that helps there. Okay, awesome. But there's other key words people type in there. So it sounds like you never searched by deep water before, have you? I mean, is this the first time that you knew this, Carmen? I didn't know if it sounded like you've done this before. Yes, okay, good, okay. So yeah, but watch this. You could also do asterisk fixer, asterisk, comma, so now I want another word, asterisk, TLC, asterisk. Just make sure the asterisk is always at the beginning and end of whatever word you like. Now, you know, when I did deep water, I only put it before the deep and after water. That means I wanted the complete word together, or words all together. I didn't want to break it. I didn't want deep or water. I wanted deep water. So here I want fixer, or, see, I got a comma, now another word, TLC, comma, asterisk, as is, asterisk. So now I'm looking for 3 separate words, one or the other, or the other. So now when I go to results, it's in here somewhere. As is, he sold as is right there, okay? It's one or the other there. I had Deepwater Surge that I had to look for a year, but just saying waterfront, you can't, marshfront or something else really didn't help. Okay, I got you there, right? Because yeah, you're correct. He's correct. If I'm looking in this field, I don't see waterfronts or water type. Actually, what I might need to go to full here. I think I went to quick. That's probably why. So waterfront wouldn't help you, right? So then you'd have to add fields, water, body of water, waterfronts, or Gulf front there. Okay, those are kind of, I didn't think of waterfront or Gulf front. That's cool. Okay. So this is another little tip that if you don't see fields on here, you can add some more down here, and they always stay down here until you take them out. So here, just like he was mentioning, yeah, he could search for waterfront, but I didn't know if the waterfront was, you know, shallow or deep. So by me searching the remarks field, I could do that. Or you can search by body of water, and I think here, I would think this would be the name of the body of water. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's lake, or if that would be ocean or river. I'm not sure. Let me try river. Okay, I did get one match. Let me say lake. Let me say ocean. And see, a lot of this, you're like, okay, now what are they looking for? Are they asking for the name of the body of water, which they might be here, or are they asking for the type of body of water? Yeah, realtors usually scale. I will say that too, because if it's not a required field, people may not put it in there. Usually empty. Okay, and here's something else you can do. I'm going to leave it blank here, but when I go to my results here, this kind of leads into another question or situation. Now watch this. I want to know what people put in this field here called body of water. I want to know if they do. So when I go to results, I'm looking across here for these columns and I don't see body of water anywhere. So you know what you can do? You can, first of all, you can move these columns around. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but you can move these columns around and put it where you want it, okay? Second thing is you can click on most of these columns here and it sorts it. So if I click on a word SUBDV, which is subdivision, one click on it will sort it alphabetically. See, now they're all alphabetically. Hopefully most of you knew that too. If I click on subdivision again, now it sorts it reverse-wise, okay? But what I can also do is I can grab this right here, squeeze it together, or open it up more. Okay, that's something else I can do. Next, what I could do is not click here. If I click there, when I have the hand there that's on top of it, that sorts it. But if I move it off, if I move down below or above or even to the right, do you see the hand changes? Now it's 4 arrows pointing in 4 different directions. Well, with that 4 arrows, if I just left click one time, I can remove that column. And now that column is gone. Can we make it so the profile pic of the house shows up in the column? I don't think you can, but let me see something here. Single line. So I think that's something we'd have to do behind the scenes for you. There's a single line, here's a short. I'm looking, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, it doesn't look like you can. I will mention this to your MLS. We'd have to do it for you. And a lot of times what we'll do is, you know what? Let me try it. Let me try it here, Carmen. Maybe there is a way you can do it. Let's see here. I mean, there's the pic, but I agree with you. You wanted to see it because here you have to actually click it to open it up, where you'd rather just view it. So if I go in here and if I click, instead of just removing the column, I could insert a new column. Well, one new column I want to add here is called water body name, right? Body of water. Yeah, I want to add that field. So I'm going to add it. And I clicked on it on address. So when I hit add, it's going to throw it to the right after address, but right before county city. Come on, there we go. James River. So it is the name of the river. Well, see, some people say it's a bay. So that makes it really tough to search by that field, okay? But at least I can say waterfront yes, and then see the name of the body name. So that way I'll know if it's a bay or a Jones Creek or stuff like that, okay? So I can see it. And if I don't like this field right here, I can move it wherever I do want it at and drop it. Now I'm gonna have to save this so it'll stay in there, because otherwise, if I don't save this, it'll go away. So I'll bring this back here in a moment. But let me click on this, insert a column, and let's see. Let me type in photo, P-H-O, photo counts, phone, and that. So that's not gonna help. Image, nope. Let me just do a quick search in here. So I don't think you can do it. We might have to do it for you. And if that's the case, I will discuss it and see if that's something we could add. Yeah. Oop, oop, oop. I see map icon. Let me do this. No, I don't want icons. Icons is that's an icon. That's a photo icon. I don't want that. So, okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna, I'd have to mention it there, okay? And we'll see if we can do it. So then you still have a single line, but then you just have like a little thumbnail picture of the house, which I agree. I think that would be a great thing to add there. Okay. So yes, you can move these columns around, and watch this. Sometimes you'll get columns that are really wide. See all this wasted space here? So what you could do, you could click on this column. Instead of removing it or inserting a new one, I could do auto fits. Right now it's at 365 pixels as a width. So if I say auto fit, now it's at 146, and if I hit apply, now it fits nice and neatly in there, okay? So whatever the longest street name it is, it'll fit right there. So see, there's a little bit of wasted space there. So you can click on it, auto fit, apply, and it just makes it nice and tight there, okay? And some things you could do, watch this. I got listing price and sale price, okay? Now I only have active listings. That's why I don't have a sale price here. So let me go back to criteria and let me do a search by solds, okay, solds. So now if I'm doing a search by solds, now I got listing date and what it sold for. But wouldn't it be nice to see what it started out? What was the original price? Because this is the last time it was listed. Maybe it had changed price. So just to the left, right after finished square feet, I want to add a column in between here. So right here, I'm going to click and insert a column. And I'm going to add, I want to search for a field called price. And I want to add original list price and hit apply. So now what I can see is what it originally started for, what it last listed for, and see right here, 760, 749, and sold for 715. Started at 529, last listed 450, is sold for 425. So that's over. Can you add concessions? Absolutely. So watch this. If I go up to any column here, if it's a field, Carmen, I'm just assuming that's a field you guys have. So let me type in concession, seller concessions. There you go. And there we go. So maybe put this here. So that way, you know, $4,200 went to seller concessions and stuff. So maybe you get a better, truer number of the sale price there. Okay. So that's pretty cool there. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad you asked that, because seller concessions, yeah. Not a lot of MLSs have this field called seller concessions there. A lot of people want it, but not a lot of MLSs actually have it. I don't know why. I think it might be the state they belong to or something like that. They can't really say that or disclose it or something like that. So, yeah. Okay. Now, if this is a, oh, you always go back and forth and write it down. Now, watch this. If you like this stuff, if you like the fields I added and you took some fields away, remember, this is the field we give you called agent single line. I need to go to this piece of paper right here and I need to give it a name. So maybe I call this one my price field. Okay, because I got original, current, sell price, and even concessions. So maybe I'll just call it price display, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. Now notice I only called it price display. When I hit save as a copy, it's called my price display. So when I open this up, anything with my in front of it are ones I created. So I created one called my CMA display. So when I look at this one has original list and sale price on it, days on market. It's got stuff on it that when I search for comps, I like to have my CMA display here. So I just created a new one called price display. Now it'll still, every time I do a search, it'll always default to this one. But if I don't want this one to be my main default now, after I saved it, which I called it price display, then I'd come to that little wheel there and I'd set it. I'd make this one my default. So that means every time I do a search, this will be my first one I see and not this one, if that makes sense. Okay. So yes, you can create your own. In fact, see these icons over here for your tax? You can pull these over too. And your attachments, you can put these wherever you want them. Sometimes I don't like them way over here because if I'm over here, I don't really notice them because they're off the screen. But over here, they're much more noticeable, okay? So maybe I put them right in front of, in the beginning here, okay? So you can rearrange this the way you like it. Now, once I did that, make sure you go and resave it again if I want to keep everything. So I think that's a huge help there. Let's see, what else? Oh, you're welcome. Good questions. Good questions. Here's something else I want to show you, a little tip and trick. Every time I do a search, every time I go to search residential full, you notice it always has only active. Do you ever find yourself not just having active, but picking coming soon also? Or every time you go to search residential full, do you find yourself almost always choosing fee simple, okay? Because every time you come in here, you don't typically do condos. You always want, fee simple, not a condo. And do you find yourself always saying detached? Is this how you normally search for houses, or does it matter if it's attached or detached? Well, for me personally, I think it matters. Every time I come in, typically I want active, typically I want fee simple, and typically I like detached, okay? Most of my clients, when they want me to search, they're searching for that and they're searching for that along with just actives. So right now, if I don't do anything, every time I come back into a residential full search, I have to pick fee simple and I have to pick detached. But I want it to stay there permanently. Well, once I have it the way I like it to be permanent, then right up here, I go to the wheel and I can set what I currently have selected as my search, as my starting defaults. The default criteria has been set. Now watch what happens. Every time I go to search residential full, I don't have to say fee simple and I don't have to say detached. It's there for me automatically, okay? Because most of the time, that's what I'm searching for. But if I have a client come up to me today and say, Keith, I want to search for a condo. Well, in this case, when I go to search residential, I would just change it to condo. And in this case, I would take that out. So that's fine, but just the next time I come back in, I say residential full, it just goes back to this way. So that's where you can set your starting default. But watch this. When I did that, I only did that for residential full. I didn't do it for quick. Now I also have an extra one here that you guys don't. It's called residential full admin. That one's for admins like me, special higher access people. So you don't have that one. So if I go to residential quick, notice this one is back to being just active without those picks. So one of them could be active, fee simple, and detached, where the other one, the quick one, could be condos. And then I hit that wheel and I set it as my default. So now knowing what I changed it to, if I want single family houses that are detached, I would pick this. If I want condos, I pick that one, if that makes sense. Okay, because this one's condos, and this one's single family houses, detached. Be simple. If that makes sense there. But I'm going to go back to that wheel and reset it to the defaults. Same thing with quick. Reset it back to the default. There. Okay. Let me see next. How about the map searches? Let me show you some tips and tricks on searching by the map. And by doing this, I'm going to show you a new feature that's coming. You don't have it yet, okay? You don't have it yet, but I'm going to show you. Now, what I'm going to show you first, you do have, okay? But one new feature I'm going to show you in a bit, and it's something you don't have, but it's coming. But right now, this is what you currently do have. So when you go up and do a search by map, okay, let's say 2 miles of an address, okay? Well, let's say, excuse me, let's say you're doing this search for Steve and Rosa. Well, Steve works at Walmart. He's the manager at Walmart, and he wants to live within 2 miles of Walmart. You know what? I don't know the address of Walmart. So do I go and Google it and search for it and get the address? No, watch this. Right up in here in this box, I can type in Walmart, comma, Williams. Make sure you type in the right street, Williamsburg, Virginia. I bet it's on Rochambeau Drive, Williamsburg. Yeah, look at that right there. Type it in and there you go. Or it could be McDonald's, comma, Williamsburg, right there. It's on 2nd Street. Yeah, pretty cool. Someone give me a name of a high school, please. Jamestown High School. Okay, so 2 miles of Jamestown High School, Williamsburg, Virginia, right there, John Tyler Highway. There we go. So let's say Rosa is a teacher there. So she wants something within 2 miles of the high school. Yeah, very cool, I agree. So when I say 2 miles of the high school, come up here, there's 2 miles of the high school. But let's say Steve wants 2 miles from where he works at, which is Walmart. Walmart's. Oop. See, that's why you have to do sometimes comma and then start typing in a city name. Williamsburg. There we go. Oh, you know what I did? My bad. Yeah. I just lost hers there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I can only do one. See, the other one I think I'd have to do up here. Let me try. I've never tried it up here. Williamsburg, Walmart. This is new for me. Let me try it. So it did find it. Oh, it's the school I wanted to do up here. That's right. Let me do Jamestown now. Jamestown High School. There it is. But let me see if it kept the shape of the radius. Yeah, it did. See, it did keep the shape. So if you want to do 2 circles, you'd have to do one of them here. And when you get your map, then go up here and type in Walmart or whatever, okay? Drive time, we can do it if your account, if your MLS uses our NREX drive time, and I don't think you guys use drive time, okay? We do have it as a feature, it costs extra, but I don't think your MLS uses it. So in this situation, unless you're using it, we cannot do drive time. Right, I love that feature too, but it is an extra cost. Yeah, so watch this. So I did one map radius, but then I did the other one here and it just plotted it on the map. But watch this. I can zoom in on this. I can go to the circle and then put my cursor right here at the tip and draw 2 mile radius. Okay. Now, if you look at this, you notice they don't intersect. Okay. So let's move this out a little bit more. Let's make it about 5 miles. And let's move Rosa's radius out to 5 miles. They both want to live within 5 miles from where they work at, okay? So right now, you can do this. But what I really want is where they intersect at, okay? There is a feature coming that will easily do this for you. You cannot do it yet. So right now what you have to do is, let me zoom in on this a little bit. So what you have to do right now is go to a polygon right here and then click, 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 and then come up this way, click, 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 click. And then how do you finish it? Well, you click on the original right there. So once you do that, then I could delete his shape, and then I could delete her shape because I use those two to get where they intersect. So that's preferably where they both want to live, because then they would both be within 5 miles from where they work at. That's pretty cool. But in the next couple of months, the next few months, you're going to have a new feature that when you have a circle like this, and you have a circle like hers, stop it, right there. Let me get rid of this shape here. Whenever you have interlapping ones like this, all you'd have to do in the future here, okay, in a future update, you're going to be able to hover over either dot, and you're going to have a new option here. It's going to be called include intersection. And when you do that, then all the listings on this side drops off. All the listings on this side will drop off, and the only listings you'll have is where they intersect at. That is coming soon. I think that one is awesome. Okay. Gotta go, Chris. Okay, thanks. Okay, remember, I'll send you a recording, so whatever you miss, you can always watch the rest of it on the recording. Thanks, Chris. Okay. Okay, what else? So you can do that. Let's say the speed bar up here. Yeah, let me go there. There's two things you can do here in the speed bar. In the speed bar, I'm just going to show you basically how it works. So in the speed bar, you can type in MLS numbers, okay? And I forget what your MLS numbers are. I think they start with 200,000. Thanks, Mavis. I know you got to go too, but I'll be sending you the link to the webinar, the recording of it. Thanks. So here's your MLS numbers. Okay, so in the speed bar, you can type in MLS numbers and hit enter, and type in as many as you want, separated by a space or a column. You can also do ACT space RES space $sign 300-400 for price range. Okay, so now you got all active listings that are residential that are in that price range. You can even say Williamsburg. And now it's just the ones in Williamsburg. So, and you can even say 3 plus 2, 3 plus 2 plus. That's beds and bathrooms, 3 or more beds, 3 or more bathrooms. Okay. But what you can do, watch this. I want to show you, you can create your own shortcuts, your own speed bar shortcut. So let's say I do a search all the time. And let's say that search involves a map. Let's say I went to my map and I spent a lot of time getting a map shape. Okay, now I'm just doing this quick here, but let's say you spend a lot of time on a special area of the map. Okay, now I don't know if this is a special area or not, but let's just pretend that's a special area that I like to search by all the time. So I spent a lot of time getting this map just right. Well, once I get the map just right, I go to results, and I actually have 2 ways I can save this for easy access. The first way is I can come down to the bottom and hit save, and I can save it as a save search. And I can call this one my special place. Okay. Is it for a client? No, but I do want to make it one of my favorite searches on the homepage. So just a little check mark there. So when I hit save, and I go back to the home page, I have a favorite search right here called My Special Place. So if someone wants to live there, if someone calls me up, say, Keith, I want to live in this area over here in this part of town, I know exactly what you're talking about. You want to live in my special place, don't you? Okay. Now, sounds kind of funny there, but okay. So I don't have to draw that shape again and again and again. All I have to do is click on it. And there's 119 listings there. If I look at my criteria, the only two things I have is active and that area drawn in. So now all I have to do is throw in their price range, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms they want. And then when I go to results, there it is. Because see, my map is still there. I don't have to draw it. Now, since I added a price range and beds and baths, I might want to come here and save it as a new auto email for that person, but I don't have to keep drawing it over and over. Okay, it's there. It's quick access for me. Let me show you something else here. Let me take out the price and the bedrooms. So the only thing I have now is active and a map area selected. So once I drew that map, my other option was go to results, save it. Instead of a save search, I could save it as a speed bar shortcut. And when here, I got to give it a name, but I got to keep it really kind of short. Okay. So what I might want to do is call it, something like My Special Place, MSP for short. I know exactly what MSP means. It means My Special Place, and it's got a backslash there. So when I save it, I come back to home. Now, whenever someone calls me up, instead of using this, and I will say for the most part, this is easier to use, but watch what this one can do. If I go up to the speed bar, not only can I just say slash MSP, okay, I'll show you what, no, I don't think I mentioned it, Carol. What does TX mean, tax? I'll show you. So now when I type in MSP and I hit search, very quickly, I see the 119 listings that are in My Special Place, but it's up here. But what I can also do, I can do slash MSP space, and then I can throw in a price, bedrooms, and bathrooms also. So not only does it run My Special Place as a speed bar shortcut, but I'm also filtering it down by the price range, beds, and bathrooms too. Thanks, Emily. I appreciate it. I know you got to run. We're a few minutes after. I realize that. So right there, not only did My Special Place, but it also filtered down the price and beds and baths. So I still have my map here and my criteria. They just threw in some extra there. So where the special, this favorite search, I cannot do a price range in here. I mean, I can, but I can't. I have to go back to the criteria and then put in my price range. But when I did it up here, I was able to include it there. Okay. And Carol, let me show you. TX takes you to the tax. It takes you to the realist tax information. So any property you find, you can click on, that's your attachments, but that takes you to realist for the tax records. See, here's your tax information for that property. But watch this also. I don't know if you know this, but if I click on the MLS number here, you know what? I don't think you guys have this. Yeah, you guys got a 360 view right here, 360 property view. I don't know if you guys knew this, but you have a 360 property view where you got the listing data, and side by side, you also have tax data side by side to each other. Come on, there we go. Side by side, listing, tax data. And when you go to history, not only do you see the listing history, but you see the public record history also. And you also see the parcel maps and the flood maps. So did you guys know about this 360 property view? I hope you did. Well, that's part of your 360, okay? So right here, just by clicking on any MLS number, changing this to the 360 property view, you've got all these tabs side by side. And also what's nice about this is if I go to print And as long as I'm on that 360 view, I can print the listing data and the tax records at the same time, and the history at the same time, and the flood map at the same time. And if it had foreclosure information, I could print that at the same time too, or parcel map. I don't know. I don't know how you guys not knew that there. That's part of our 360 view, okay? So, so yeah, you can click on it and it takes you to the long, this long view, but just change it to the 360 view. Rain should have it also. Yes, absolutely. Rain should have it too. You have all those tabs going across there. Absolutely. Okay, it's what we call Matrix 360. And I believe everyone's using 360 now. If you have Matrix, I believe you're using 360 now. Okay? So I think that's awesome. Because otherwise, you'd have to click on that TX for tax, open up another screen for the tax program, print that out separate, and then print out your listing separate. And it's like back and forth, back and forth. Here, you can just print it all at one time. So I think that's wonderful to know. Okay. We are past time, but hopefully you guys learned some stuff there. Okay. I will be emailing you later today, the link to this recording, which I am still recording right now. So you can always reply if you do have more questions. And I hope you show up tomorrow, no, the 7th, May 7th, and we'll get into the public record search. Search public records. Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys' time today. And you're welcome, Debbie. I hope you learned some stuff and start using this right away. Otherwise, you're going to forget about it and you're going to say, no, how did he do that again? So I hope that helps you. Okay. Useful for business. Good. You're welcome, Carmen. You're welcome. Great questions, Carmen. You really helped me too. So it's always nice to have some feedback as I go through. Thanks, Carol. Appreciate it. You're welcome. All right. Well, thanks, you guys. Have a good day, and hope to see you on Thursday's webinar too. Please ask about the profile pic. Yeah, I sure will. I sure will. See if we can mention it there. Yep. Okay. Thanks, you guys.